Hello and welcome. This is Rooflemonger, and now, my friends, the Guilty Gear Strive beta is over. It has run its course, and there was definitely a very rocky start, but by the end, I think it was overall a fantastic experience. So let's talk about it. So first, just to get it out of the way, I guess, let's do the gushing. Because, man, it was a good experience, and the netcode is truly amazing. And we all know rollback netcode is good, and rollback netcode should be the standard. In King of Fighters 15, I'm looking at you. But this is rollback even a step above other rollback. We know there's some wonky rollback like Street Fighter 5. We know games like Mortal Kombat 11 have good rollback. But this is even a step above. This rollback netcode is clean in a way that it's just truly fantastic. I got no other words for it. Now, certainly not flawless. It can't make every single connection good, right? But it makes a lot of connections great. Even a lot of Wi-Fi connections. And we all know Wi-Fi is bad, right? But it can make them workable-ish. Now, don't take that to mean you should use Wi-Fi, because don't, right? But say Mortal Kombat 11. Mortal Kombat 11 has good rollback netcode, but it really struggles if there's any Wi-Fi introduced into the game. And this handles it a lot better than, say, Mortal Kombat 11 does. At least from my personal anecdotal experience anyways. But I could sit here all day long just gushing about the netcode, and we'll just try to cut it short here, but it truly just is that good. It is the realest of real deals. This is basically gonna be the best online in the FGC for a modern fighting game. And if you care about online play at all, then you have to support this game. Of course, the game is not without flaws, and we'll get over that in a minute here, but still, the online, this has been the biggest problem in fighting games for a decade, and this is definitely solved here in Guilty Gear Strive. Now, to speak on the gameplay itself, so things have definitely changed a fair bit from the old beta from last year, and for the better, in my opinion. And now that we know a bit more about the game and know how more the game operates, we're starting to see a lot more application of stuff like the new Roman cancels, because the new Roman cancels definitely add a lot of life and a lot of depth to the game, and we're still really only barely scratching the surface on it. And I'm talking a lot more than just like new combo routes, all that kind of stuff, right? There's so much more applicable tech, and like making people's wake-ups safe jumpable, all sorts of mix-ups that are not possible without like RC slowing down the enemy, that kind of stuff. Just, it's gonna be very interesting, and once again, we only have, the barest perception of what's possible, and as the game matures, it's gonna get crazier and crazier. As for the general moment-to-moment gameplay, I had a lot of fun, so I put most of my time into Potemkin, so definitely a slower experience than the average character, to be sure, but it was still a very fun one for me. Now, I know a lot of people, one of the common complaints I'm seeing is some people are struggling with anti-airs, because, especially early on in the game's lifespan, everyone's just going to be jumping around like crazy, right? For Potemkin, I didn't have that experience as much, as Potemkin has a wealth of anti-air options. So on that, I didn't personally experience, but I definitely know it's a common enough complaint that a lot of characters are struggling. As for another common complaint I saw, the damage. I personally like high damage, honestly. In a game with high damage, you don't need comeback mechanics. And once again, Guilty Gear being Guilty Gear, the damage is a bit of a lie, because your first half of your life bar doesn't have any guts attached to it. And in Guilty Gear, the less health you have, guts kicks in, and basically the less health, the dramatically less damage you take, right? So your initial damage you do is sort of a lie, but still, that said, competitively, the damage is still on the higher end, and I would not mind seeing this game be best 3 out of 5. In both, say, in higher floor play, because there's no traditional ranked or whatever, right? So in like floor 10 and heaven floor, everything's 3 out of 5. And obviously in tournament proper settings, everything 3 out of 5 as well, just because rounds go by fairly quick most of the time. But personally, I'm not going to complain about high damage, because I like high damage. I think it's just fine. As for everything else, just generalize. I like the game flow. I've had a lot of fun with it so far. Everything just feels good. And like stuff like counter hits. I know some people don't like the big counters, all that kind of stuff. I love them. It's a nice, good feeling to get it, like just visually satisfying. Also, it gives you enough time to hit confirm, right? Because in my time already, I was like looking for counter hits and then only special canceling or Roman canceling or whatever based on what I saw on the counter, right? So I just think it's pretty good. And I'm sure as the game comes out, we'll have tons of more quibbles and all that kind of stuff. And we can talk about who's killing the game, who's ruining the game, all that kind of usual complaints we get to, right? But overall, just I'm very satisfied and very happy with the just total gameplay experience. Now, as for some changes I personally would like to see, hey, we're going to talk about the lobby. Don't worry, we'll talk about the lobby. But I would like to see frame data in training mode. I feel that's a step backwards. Like, we have frame data in Dragon Ball FighterZ, and that's another Arc System Works title, yet there was no frame data anywhere to be found in training mode. I feel that is a minimum bar to entry for a new fighting game, especially in 2021, and it just was not there. So for me to get a general hang on frame data, I had to do like the old man jump test, right? Where I do a move and then we both jump at the same time, and whoever jumps first is the one who has the advantage. And like, I'll do it because I have to, but I don't want to have to do that anymore. Just give me the numbers, right? And don't pull no Tekken and charge money for the frame data either. And now let's talk the lobbies. So the lobbies was the most wildly criticized thing of the last beta, and they doubled down. Let's just get real. They totally doubled down on it, right? And I do not know why. The lobbies look nicer. I'll give it that, right? They look nicer, but like, it's just a big cluster. Like, for someone like me, like I was trying to organize some matches on the stream, and then everyone's all clustered together, and it's hard to tell who's who and like who's matching what where, and it's just kind of a mess, honestly, and I just do not like it. Now, what can be done at this point? Probably not much, right? We're a month and change away till the retail build of the game, the launch of the game, so it's definitely not enough time to scrap it and redo everything. But hopefully concessions can be made. Like, I would very much prefer private lobbies, definitely rematches and lobbies instead of just getting kicked out. That was also a frustration that we could do exactly one game at 2 out of 3, and then we're booted back out, and then the whole slow process because you don't get to immediately rematch. You got to go through all these animations and all that kind of stuff. It was just, it's a blemish on an otherwise good product, in my opinion, and I hope something can be done about it to ease it in the future, because I do kind of think we're stuck with what we got for now. Maybe season 2 or something, we can have a whole redesign, but hopefully they just give us rematches, give us even more rooms to work with, so we're not so much clutter, not so many people around. Just make it better, please. But with that said, and obviously the lobby's the big downside, the lobby was the biggest downside. That was it, right? And the gameplay is why we're all here. We're not here for lobbies and matchmaking, even though it is important. But the gameplay is why we're here and just playing the game. And playing the game was excellent, right? Once again, we already gushed about the netcode. We already talked about just the gameplay and game flow, all that kind of stuff. But overall, I'm a big fan. And despite the lobbies being kind of crap, and yeah, there was also a lot of problems with the beta crashing, but they did the right thing and extended the beta. So kudos to Arc System on that. But overall, as a total package, absolutely excited. That is the word, excited. I am very, very much looking forward to the launch of the game. We also got 2 new characters. We have Angie Mito and Ino. Those are coming. They weren't in the beta. And, well, I don't like Angie personally, but Ino's pretty cool. We'll see how she works out, right? But they definitely stuck by the usual core Guilty Gear flavor of every character is wildly unique, and that is definitely held true, at least in my time in the beta. Everyone was definitely doing their own thing. And even though it's an incredibly limited experience with a not final build of the game, with things certain to change, everyone still wants tier lists. Tier lists are happening left, right, front, and center, so why not? Let's just do a quick one. So here it is, just like everyone else trying to post one of these based off of incredibly limited data and totally opinionated, but there it is. The only real story to tell, in my opinion, is Ramlethal was wildly the strongest character in the beta. Like, no one comes close. Her normals are huge. Her normals are faster than the other people with big normals, so they're quick and big. And any touch that's mid-screen or closer is 70% damage. Because she will always wall splat you thanks to how her projectile works. So she'll always wall splat you, and then that's all there is to it. And Nagoriyuki needs work. Yeah, I'm sure you've seen the videos where he gets like the huge damage and all that kind of stuff. But well, everyone can do that basically, right? But he definitely struggles. He has long-ish range, but not long to compete with the people with other long range. Like, definitely falls short compared to like Potemkin or Axel, and they just bully him for free. He struggles to get in a bit as he only has a jump and a super jump, and they're not very fast. He seems to struggle a bit versus a lot of offensive pressure, as his defensive options are basically non-existent. He has no get off me button for one, which is fine. But even his active defense, like his active anti-airs, are really bad. He very much struggles against people jumping against him. And he's basically got a lose more mechanic, because if you're already down, the chips are down, the blood gauge is already up, your comeback potential is way worse than the average character. So he just definitely suffers in a lot of regards. Now, once again, this is not a final build of the game in any way, shape, or form, right? So things absolutely can and will change. The balance in this build is not going to be the balance at the launch, so don't worry about that. But as it stands, that's just my generalized opinion. And also, everyone calling for Potemkin nerfs already in the beta, I got a word for you, and that word is cowards. If you're scared of a Potemkin Buster, just jump. If you're scared of Mega Fist, just anti-air it. How about that? If you're scared of Heavenly Potemkin Buster, don't jump. So there you go. Problem solved. Easy peasy. This is like the first revision of Guilty Gear in forever, where Potemkin is like not a garbage trash character that is absolute like bottom of the barrel. So just don't meme him into being nerfed forever, man. Like, let him be decent. He's still not as good as Ramlethal, so just let the boy breathe. Let him live his life. But anyways, my friends, that is the end of this video. So thank you very much for watching. Hope this video has found you well. And hey, when the retail build comes out, go out and play some Guilty Gear.